The following production is produced by the State University of New York College at Oneonta.
Good evening and welcome to Inside Red Dragon Sports. I'm your host, Geoff Hassard, Assistant Director of Athletics and Sports Information Director here at SUNY Oneonta. And we're going to kick off our second year of Inside Red Dragon Sports by welcoming Director of Athletics Tracy Ranieri to the show tonight. So please stay tuned after the break, where we'll be joined in studio by Tracy Ranieri.
WUOW 104.7 FM is the region's premier radio station, offering award-winning programming from National Public Radio and Pacifica Radio networks, giving you the chance to become more informed about the arts, information, and entertainment from around the country and around the world. WUOW is your community radio station. Join us and support the sound.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now in studio is Director of Athletics at SUNY Oneonta, Tracy Ranieri. Welcome, Tracy.
Hi, Geoff.
Welcome back to the show. Last year you kicked us off as well, so it's pretty exciting to have you back on the show and talk a little bit about what's going on in the department. I think first of all, we never really did a kind of a year in review for last year, so I'd like to really focus on a lot of the accolades and things that we accomplished last year. So why don't we just start right off with what a tremendous year we had. We moved up to third in the SUNY Commissioner's Cup standings, and we got closer to the top, which I know is a goal of our department and our coaches and our staff. Some of the other accolades we had 8 All-Americans. We had 3 NCAA teams, women's soccer, men's basketball for the first time in 33 years, and baseball for the first time ever in the spring. We also had, off that baseball team, we had Dave Felak, who was drafted by the Atlanta Braves. I mean, so there's a lot going on and a lot of exciting things. Why don't you talk a little bit about, from your perspective, some of the things that we did accomplish last year and how that really helps grow the college and our athletic department?
Well, I think in addition to what you've mentioned in regards to how wonderful we're doing competitively on the field, on the court, on the mat, on the course, this show in and of itself is a wonderful thing. We've got tons and tons of people who we're getting the word out there and are very interested in our athletic programs, and that's really exciting for the community and really exciting for the college in general. And how hard you worked on this wonderful new website that we have that has gotten 90,000 hits in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't today is a month that we've been live with our new website, OneontaAthletics.com, and we've had, yes, almost 100,000 page views, which is just amazing. I mean, yeah, it's new. People want to see the new, but people are coming back. We have a way to monitor, what stories are being viewed, and it gives me the top 8 stories, and all the teams have been in there. I mean, cross country, field hockey, soccer. So people are definitely interested in what we're doing, and I think because of the way we designed our homepage with the integration of the YouTube channel, where people can always watch our show every week and go back and watch old episodes, and we're also going to migrate and fill that with Hall of Fame ceremonies, team highlight videos, our athletic highlight videos. So I mean, it's a radio, it's almost like a television station and a newspaper now. I mean, so we've got 2 out of the 3. I mean, I guess you can make it a radio station if you do something without, live video, but we're definitely moving in a good direction. Certainly support from the college to let us do it, because we took it off our campus's site to help them as well with their space issues. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting, and it's great that people are so interested that they want to come visit. So I think that goes.
And I think, as you said about just sort of recapping last year, when the men's basketball team from 1949-50 was inducted, they were a team that went 19-1. These gentlemen A lot of them were in the war at the time that they played. It was just a mix match of the most interesting people I'd ever met. And to have them all come back last year, they are reconnected with the college. We've had a lot of Hall of Famers and alumni, because of the website and because of the other things that we're doing, like this show, reconnect with us. And that's just great for the students. It's great for the college. It's great for our alumni base. And again, people like winners. And when we move into talking about this year, the impact of these new freshmen that we have and the very high academic profile that they have as well is really it's gonna get us to the top.
Right.
Like you said, we hit the #3 spot as the overall best athletic program in the SUNY Conference. We still have Cortland and Geneseo to beat, but we've hurdled several other institutions who are wonderful institutions, but on the field, we are attracting talent that is going to get us to that #1 spot. And I know with the kind of coaching staff that we have and our determination, there's just no stopping us at this point.
Well, and we talk about athletic accomplishments, but last year we had 3 SUNY Chancellor Award winners. We had 2 academic All-Americans. We had women's cross country, men's cross country, the 2 track and field programs, women's lacrosse for the first time, field hockey,
right,
all
be
scholar
honored
teams.
by
their national organizations. So I mean, when we talk about student athletes here at Oneonta, that's what it is. That's what it's about.
That's the given. In all the years that we've been keeping records, our student athletes continue to maintain a higher GPA than the general student body. We have a higher retention rate than the general student body. We have a higher graduation rate than the general student body. The college is doing wonderful. Our student athletes, with all the time that they're putting into being an excellent athlete, they are also being an excellent student, and that's what we want.
Now, what would you attribute that to? I mean, is it just a matter of our coaches going out and recruiting? I mean, is that really it, or what else do we think we have to offer?
Oh, wow. We got to have another show for that. I mean, I think the college as a whole, with the new programs, with our wonderful faculty, with the support that they give to students in all regards, not just student athletes, but club programs and other things that they're interested in, students love to be here. And they love the people that are mentoring them and helping them to learn. That, overall, I think is really one of the big answers. I think recruiting is critical. We've got to find athletes that fit our academic profile and fit the high standard of excellence academically and athletically that we want. And you know something? It's a privilege to be a college athlete. And you got to be good enough in all areas to be a part of it. We have about 500 student athletes in our program, 21 varsity sport teams. There are more than 440 Division III institutions in the country that we compete against. But that's still minute compared to students in college all over the country. So it's an elite group of people, and we expect a lot from them. So in addition to that, I really believe that we have an exceptional coaching staff that really are committed to graduation and really committed to their student athletes learning. And you know, when they're a better student in the classroom, they're a better student of the game. We know that as well. Now,
and that philosophy that we really adhere to is really what the NCAA has done now in Division III with the new branding initiative. So maybe we could talk a little bit about that, how they've rolled out this whole, Discover, Develop initiative where, they're embracing the fact that these Division III athletes are student athletes and that their participation in athletics really enhances their overall what happens at the college level. So
without a doubt, and everybody in athletics would say the same thing, that the values that we perfect on the field, the dedication, the commitment, the teamwork, the work ethic, those skills, those values are important transferable skills into your academics, into your relationships, and into your careers. That's going to help them get an edge to be successful upon graduation.
Now, are we going to, of course, the NCAA with their new initiative? I mean, certainly we took the initiative when that stuff, we had videos that were released that we put on our website so that prospective student athletes can, see what it's all about. I mean, if they're interested and they think Division III is for them, I mean, these videos that they came out with were perfectly well you know, put together and really talks about the Division III experience. So.
And I think that was important, because there's parents out there that think that if their student is a Division I athlete, that they're going to have the best experience possible. Not true. I mean, we have a lot of athletes that could compete at the Division I level and get scholarships, but choose Division III because it's as competitive. We're going to postseason a heck of a lot more than some of those small Division I schools, and the experience overall academically in the SUNY system, particularly at Oneonta, is pretty special.
Yeah, now our academic profile keeps going up every year as a college, and our applications are over 10,000 every year. I mean, our acceptance rate, a U.S. News and World Report just ranked us #3 in the North and public colleges. I mean, that's got to say a lot for the people that are here.
Oh, I know. And I mean, this past year we had 13,000 applications and we only had a 37% acceptance rate. There's a lot of people that want to come that we just can't get in. And you know, if there are any prospects out there that are listening to this show, I really hope that they get their academics in order as a sophomore, junior, and senior in high school, so that we can get them in and they can share in these great experiences that we're having.
Now, let's just stay with academics just for briefly here. We have a program where we have mentors from our faculty. And could you just talk a little bit about that and how you think that enhances what we do within our athletic department?
That is really special, and I'm sure it goes on all campuses, but we have a faculty athletic representative, Dr. Jennifer Bush, who is just a wonderful liaison to the rest of the campus in sharing the challenges, difficulties, understanding the things that student athletes have to go through. With her help, we're enhancing our faculty mentorship program, and every single team has a faculty mentor. Now, the fun thing about that is the student athletes on that team have said, these are my favorite faculty that I learned so much with in the classroom. Can we have them be our faculty mentor? I mean, they literally fight over which faculty mentor they want. We select a faculty mentor for the team. Some of them are traveling overnight on the bus. Some of them are doing academic advisement. Some of them are just supporting them personally as well as academically, and it really brings it home for the student to say, I'm a student athlete, and the fact that you care about me doing as well on the field as I am in the classroom means a lot to them. They talk about faculty, you know, their faculty all the time on the bus rides. It's just a special situation, and I hope that all Division III schools have that kind of experience. I know here at Oneonta it's extra special.
Right. Now, before we maybe ask you what maybe one or two highlights you had from last year, certainly individual and staying with the academic accomplishments as well as athletic accomplishments. I mean, we could point to someone like Josh Wake, wrestler. I mean, he was an All-American wrestler. He was a Scholar Chancellor Award. He was an academic All-American. I mean, those are the kind of student athletes that we want.
And a great leader for other students, too. The fact that Josh was an accounting major, which is a 5-year program, and he did it in 4, and the fact that he loved his experience so much that he is still with us prior to going to graduate school. It's just a wonderful, wonderful, he just emulates what we want student athletes. And we could talk about several of them, you know. There's a lot more than just Josh, but Josh was really special. And again, being an individual sport athlete, when you talk about our All-Americans, we had several All-Americans that, you know, these are all in the top 8 in the country. So we're talking about people winning, but we're talking about really winning. To get to be in the top 8 in the country, that's big. And then what you said about our baseball team, first time in the history of our program. We've had exceptional baseball programs. I mean, baseball in Northeast is really, really good. So to get into there when we've already been really good is exceptional. And then men's basketball, to do what they've done and with a 33-year wait for all of us. And then, of course, women's soccer, they're in their 11th or 12th year consecutively going to the NCAA championships. You know, there's just a movement that everybody just, it's not that far away. It's not a big grasp.
Right, and we think that it carries over to the other programs. When we did our All-American show last year, I mean, we had wrestling, we had track, we had basketball. I mean, we had like 4 sports represented, which in my time here, we hadn't had that kind of variety. I mean, it's been the track, it's been the soccers, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I think the other coaches are feeding into that and saying, well, geez, I mean, if they can do it,
Right.
we can too.
And the huge thing is you don't get to be an All-American unless your team is really good. And now that our teams are moving up in there, and like I said, to be third in a very, very strong conference like the SUNY with several teams in our conference winning national championships in different sports, we're on our way.
Yeah. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll take a break here, and why don't you join us after the break, where we'll start to talk a little bit about a busy summer that we had. So please join us. We'll talk about our summer.
What makes D3 special is the ability to participate in my team and within the broader community.
The perfect ending to a perfect season.
Being a D3 student athlete has completely expanded my life.
I learned how to lead. I really found a voice.
What time is it?
It's more about the experience rather than just a sport itself.
Without the experience of being a Division III student athlete, I wouldn't be the person who I am today.
NCAA Division III. Discover, develop, dedicate.
Welcome back to the show. Right now we're going to talk a little bit about the busy summer that we had and really highlight the event of the summer for us in the athletic department, our fundraiser, Dining with Champions. So Tracy, if we could just talk a little bit about that. I mean, it's our third year we had a packed house. We keep growing. Why don't you talk about how that event works, and we'll highlight some of the table hosts that we did have, but talk about maybe some of the money that we raised and what it goes for. And
Sure. Well, with the help of the college and the advancement office, we created a Dining with Champions fund. And all of the money from this particular event, which is a dinner event that we have in the summer, goes towards travel initiatives and facility enhancements for the athletic program. Now, our teams are traveling all over the country. And our volleyball team just got back from Oregon. We've been everywhere, and I'm sure you'll be talking about that over the year, about where they're traveling. And so this is money that we have to raise to do this. We can't expect the college to support those kind of initiatives. And so we're ready to do it, and to compete with the Joneses, we're ready to do it. So this particular event is it's multifaceted in relation to how we build friends for our athletic program. And it starts with the fact that we live in a very unique city that has such an incredibly eclectic group of successful partners to the college that sit at a table and people pay to have dinner with these extraordinary people. Now, it goes without saying that our coaches are exceptional people and they know their sport and they're sitting at the tables as well. So you could learn about the sports that you're really interested in by coming and paying to sit at our table. In addition to that, though, I mean, Geoff Idelson, the CEO of the Baseball Hall of Fame, gave his time to share incredible stories about baseball. Dr. Reggie Knight, who's an alumni of the college, who is a neurosurgeon for Bassett, one of the world-renowned surgeons, just fantastic. We had several Hall of Famers who are very accomplished in their fields of education and business and other. That was really fun. We have a couple of alumni who couldn't attend this event, but we really connected with this past year in relation to the assistant general manager for the Mets, Brian Lamb, who's a Hall of Famer, and Rob Bernstein, who's with the Yankees, who we reconnected with because Dave Felak got drafted to the Atlanta Braves, which was a really exciting thing that happened this summer. He's playing great. We're really excited for all of us that such a young man from the Albany area could come here, learn how to play baseball, and go on and potentially play in the majors. But we've had so many wonderful connections with alumni because of the Dining with Champions event and because of the success of our student athletes. Back to the event, we raised about almost $20,000 this year. And again, generous donations, a silent auction, wonderful people that you just want to spend time with, who love student athletes, who love the college. It's really turned into something really special for our department.
And we certainly will continue again next year. The date, September 17th.
Yes.
Please mark that on your calendars. And also we want to make sure that everyone just keeps checking back to the website, and we'll have more information as it comes available. But we certainly we're hoping we'll get 25 table hosts like we did this year, and we'll just keep letting it grow.
Yeah.
So, well, what we'll do is we'll take a little break here, and we'll come back and we'll start talking about this year, because we're already off and running.
All right.
All right. So please join me after the break, where Tracy and I will talk about the upcoming year, what's going on.
Hey, how's it going?
Sir, are you okay?
What? Oh, this? It's probably nothing. I'm sure it'll go away.
Go away? But, sir, that can't be good.
No, it's cool. Really.
Do you want a napkin or something?
Everything's fine. Thanks.
You wouldn't ignore this. So why ignore the signs of a stroke? At the first warning signs, call 911 immediately. Because time lost is brain lost.
Welcome back to the show. Tracy and I now are just going to start talking about this year. We're already off and running. Let's talk a little bit about our opening weekend of play. Our women's soccer team won the Flower City tournament out at Rochester. Rochester, traditionally one of the best teams in our region. We beat them 1-0. Then we had men's and women's cross country out at Fortin Park. Our women dominated with some of the younger runners that we do have. Men's soccer's off to a good start. Volleyball, they went to Oregon, as you said, and played very well out there against some very good teams that are in the national rankings. So that's going to be good for them because, of course, you know, when we have Colleen on, I think she has 8 freshmen. Is that what she has on her roster? And like 3 or 4 sophomores. So she's actually got a lot of young players too. But can you talk about our freshman class and how you think they're going to impact our programs here this fall?
Sure. I think there's 2 things that are noteworthy about this fall for us. Number one is the fact that our freshman class is, as I've watched these programs, some of the most impactful freshmen we've ever had in size, in speed, in technical ability, and in just their determination and drive. I mean, this millennial student, when they are focused, the sky is the limit, and freshmen don't know any better, so they're not fearful of the great teams. They're just out there doing their best, and we've already seen our freshmen be impactful in these big competitions already. So that, I think, is going to be really special, that we're watching. We don't know what these freshmen can do, but I think there's some really wonderful things there that we're capable of. I think the other thing that is really noteworthy is that we've really revamped our schedule for all of our programs. We are playing teams across the country and across the region that, while we play in conference, which is going to help us get to the NCAA championships, we play very strong teams in the region and out of the region so that we can see that competition, because we expect to go to postseason. And when we do, some of these teams are going to come back. And you know, in my experience in 2003, when the women's soccer team won the national championship, we had played 4 of the teams that we ran through the postseason with either the year before or during that regular season. So you can imagine, when you've already beat them once, that there's a confidence that goes into, you know, we had lost to the University of Chicago the year before, and here we are playing them the following year in the national championship. There was a lot that a coach can use from that experience to lend to helping their team get ready, and I think our coaches are doing that by playing some of the very high-profile teams across the country.
Now, when we're in the, I mean, because of course, again, we do expect to make it to the postseason. So when coaches are building their programs, that's important for them to start with a good schedule.
Absolutely, absolutely. The other really wonderful thing is last year we had a wonderful human interest story with Andrew McIntosh, who was a men's lacrosse player. The New York Times and the Washington Post wrote articles about our lacrosse team related to that. And I saw Andrew last week. He's getting ready to go to Fresno State for graduate school. And he said it's amazing out in Fresno that people can say Oneonta. They understand where it is. And that is really, you know, if athletics can be the front porch of our university in that regard, it's going to be really wonderful for our athletic program.
And I think we're certainly moving in that direction. Any predictions for this fall? Before we go on to just highlight some of the other events that we have coming up? I mean,
well, as I talk to our student athletes, and they really are modest, I'm pretty confident that we're going to get to the NCAA championships in more than one sport. And the thrill of being able to host the men's and women's cross-country NCAA regional championships at Fortin Park in November, there's going to be thousands of people here for that event. And I'm just thrilled that we as an institution get to host an event of that magnitude. And because we've been good at getting ourselves there, we're good at hosting it. It's just great for the college as well as our student athletes competing at home.
Right, and we do it in many events. I mean, this cross country is going to be our first time, but it's another event. I mean, we've hosted soccer, we've hosted basketball, you know what I mean? Hopefully we can get to the baseball, softball situation coming down the road here. So, I mean, and just coming up with a pre-regional meet on the 17th, we have 2 national champions running at Fortin Park. I mean, Peter Kresge from Hamilton College, the young lady from, I can't remember the school, but 2 national champions running on our home course, which is exciting, as Matt would say, and Coach Pasilico. So we certainly are looking forward to those events. Again, that's November 13th at Fortin Park. It's going to be a madhouse. I mean, Matt says it's just thousands of people just watching people run, and our course is a great place to come and watch a meet. So,
and I think the other thing that's going to be really wonderful this year is the Hall of Fame event on October 23rd. Homecoming is always a special time to return to the college, but our Hall of Famers that are being inducted this year, and our Hall of Famers that are going to come back to celebrate the Hall of Famers being inducted, is pretty special. We're going to induct the 1966-67 men's swimming and diving team. They had quite the run.
Oh, they did. When they had champions, they had just 5 All-Americans just on that one team. I mean, in 1 year, so that's pretty incredible.
Jim Baker, who was a tremendous tennis coach and administrator for our department for many years. We're very proud to be inducting him. And Dick Burr, who was our admissions director for many years and just a real supporter of athletics. You can still find him in the stands. Couldn't do a lot of things without those folks. There. And then, of course, our student athletes that are being inducted, a women's soccer player, a baseball player, and a swimmer.
Well, and that, again, that's a great event, October 23rd, 10 a.m. Please, for all these events, we want people to check out our website, oneonathletics.com. Now you can also call our 24-hour sports hotline, 607-436-2425. And just the latest news and information, and always, please come back and join us again. Thanks for coming by to kick us off for our 2nd year. And we'd like to thank everyone for joining us this evening. And just to remind you, please check out our website. You can view any of the YouTube videos that we have from the past year. And as we go along during the year, we're going to keep putting more stuff up there to keep people coming back. So thanks for joining me this week, and we'll see you next time on Inside Red Dragon Sports.